Good morning everyone, it's Tim Wild here again, and I thought I'd venture a little bit further out this morning, and I'm actually nestled a fair few feet up in the branches of my favourite tree in my garden, which is it's an oak tree, which when I moved into the house that I'm in it's been standing for a good couple of 100 years, and looked like the kind of tree that would never fall. But with the incredible amount of rain that we had over the years leading up after the cosmic moment, the tree decided to take a rest. And what I find absolutely incredible is, despite this vast being kind of crashing to the ground, that it has, as you can see, made a recovery and decided to continue its growth, but on a kind of a more horizontal level, which I'm sure many of us are feeling the need to do so ourselves at the moment in the current energies. But I'd like to talk a little bit this morning about the Solar Plexus chakra. Now, during my videos and our conversations on YouTube over the next few months, I will be covering the chakras that I would consider to be the sticking points with the ascension process. I mean, there's 4 that I've identified so far within the 12 chakra system that we all now have. The first being the throat, then the solar plexus, the sacral, and also of course the heart center, which is the core of our ascension process. But today it's the solar plexus, because we've got some very strong energies rolling in at the moment, from various gateways and portals, and all of us have now got this very kind of high frequency version, or very kind of like upgraded or updated version of our previous solar plexus. And the job of the solar plexus in the 3rd dimension was to keep us safe. That was one of its primary roles. So say, for example, you left your house in the morning and you were going to go and kind of look for food, or you were going, I'm talking a scenario that's maybe a couple of 1,000 years ago, when things weren't quite so kind of accessible as they are now. Your solar plexus would do the job of kind of scanning your surroundings. If you kind of take how a bat looks for insects at night, the bat will fly around pulsing out these sonic waves, and it will take pictures, like multiple pictures or photographs, or kind of, like radar images of what is around it. These will feed back to the bat, and the bat will identify a moth, big juicy moth. Yeah, that looks great, I'll have that for my supper. And that's how the bat would operate. Well, our solar plexus is very similar. It flashes out hundreds of times a second photographs of the energy all around us, the people, the places, the situations, and it did a very good job of keeping us safe in the 3rd dimension. The solar plexus would be that chakra that gave you that jangling feeling when you were not supposed to go a certain route, or if there was something that was waiting for you down the road that might cause you anxiety or danger or anything whatsoever. And this is what would happen. So effectively the solar plexus would take multiple pictures of the surroundings around all of us and report back. Now this action, this manner of activity with the solar plexus, it has not just continued, but it has accelerated since we have had this upgrade in our chakras. I know it sounds like a very kind of almost like a computer analytical term, but it is. We are simply taking on a higher format or a higher program. So all of us incredibly keen budding light workers that are constantly striving to up our energy and flower into this higher state of being and consciousness, we're now operating with a solar plexus that covers a much wider spectrum and range of energies. So take, for example, you're leaving your house in the morning, your solar plexus is covering anything from a 10 to 20 mile radius around you, and it's taking microbytes or micro photographs or tiny little pieces of all of the information around you and reporting back. Now, in the current blueprint that we've been operating in, particularly for the last 10,000 years, the solar plexus has been geared up to pick up fear. and disharmony and all of the other things that might put us in danger energetically and physically. And now that we're moving into this next phase, now we are standing in our own mastery, it's not about survival and danger anymore, it's about operating with love and basically being one with our circumstances, you know, even if our surroundings aren't kind of in tune with that. So what we're looking at is this chakra, the solar plexus, is continuously picking up everybody else's frequencies and everybody else's vibrations, and many of the light workers, including myself, that I've spoken to, or my own personal experience over the last 10 years or so, have been like an increase in sensitivity, like almost to a point where, you know, some people haven't actually been able to kind of go out and kind of mix with their surroundings because of this incredible sensitivity that we've got with our energies and our fields. And after years of looking at this and years of working with the chakras, I've boiled it down to being the solar plexus. Now, it might sound like a very simple solution to what is almost a life-changing issue, but it actually is. The tiniest adjustments that we make within ourselves can have this incredible resonant effect with the whole of our surroundings. So it was a little while ago that I released something called the 7-Day Solar Plexus Challenge on Facebook. If you go to my Facebook page, Tim Wilde Practical Ascension, scroll down, you'll actually see it there, or on my website, timwilde.com. And the whole idea of the 7-Day Solar Plexus Challenge is to simply change the vibration that our solar plexus is looking for on a continual basis. And it's a very, very easy thing to do. What you do is you take your favourite crystal, and I prefer to use quartz for most things. It doesn't need to be fancy, doesn't need to be Lemurian, just a piece of quartz or any other crystal that you are in continuous contact with or regular contact with. Take this piece of quartz and twice a day lie on your bed, once in the morning and once at night, and consciously turn the dial of your solar plexus round. And what you are doing, you are commanding it to look for love rather than fear and the vibrations that other people are releasing on a continual basis. So if you just work, you know, roll with me for a second now, just place your hand on your solar plexus, take a few deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just imagine that your solar plexus is the dial of a clock. And on this clock you've got various different settings, and the two main ones are fear and the other one is love. And you change this dial, this setting, from fear to love. And just do so consciously. Your solar plexus will comply with anything that you are asking it to do. It is your chakra at the end of the day. And just see this dial moving around and your solar plexus becoming balanced and harmonized. And just breathe into the chakra, allow it to do its job, and just feel, you might even feel a perceptible click as the energy of your chakra changes, and just allow this to settle in. And all of a sudden your solar plexus will now be looking for a completely different bandwidth of energy. It will be looking for love around you, as opposed to all of this different myriad of frequencies that we can pick up. And this will literally change the biosphere of your reality. I know it sounds very simple, but in actual fact, a lot of our issues on our ascension pathway in our physical existence are nowhere near as complicated as they actually appear. They just take self-awareness and some minor adjustments and knowing how to deal with the job in hand. So just see this dial turning, literally from fear to love. I know I'm repeating myself, but this is all you need to do with it. And do this twice a day. Do it once in the morning before you go out and do whatever you are doing for the day, and once when you come home. Now when you come home at night, after having been doing whatever you are doing, whether it's work, whether it's just simply just enjoying yourself, whether you're out and about mixing with other people, or whether you have a fairly kind of secluded lifestyle, just make sure that obviously when the solar plexus is turned around, that you are receiving the love and all of the the higher vibrations around you, and that your solar plexus is clear from any cords and attachments or any kind of other incoming inconsistencies. Now, it's very, very common for people with a higher vibration to become, almost magnets for, and this is a completely unconscious thing, magnets for cords and attachments and people that are feeling, in need of assistance or in need of light. And they tend to kind of tune into the solar plexus of the person that is shining and kind of help themselves. And this is, a lot of these are unconscious agreements, but the point in time has come now where we reclaim our light and stand in our own mastery, and it is required of others to do so as well, so we can all move forward through this process, standing in our own light and standing in our own power. So just allow that to occur. Just feel this occurring within your solar plexus and embodying this new vibration that you are picking up from the world around you. And I recommend doing this at least 7 days consecutively. But I also think that, because the pattern is very ingrained, very established, even within the higher dimensional chakras, that we do it for 21 days, because that is roughly the amount of time that it takes to change a habit within the physical body. Now, just because we have these higher chakras, just because we are receiving these energies on a much more expanded level now, doesn't mean that we're not carrying the old blueprint. So it's the old blueprint here that we're changing. So when you do so, when you change this what you're picking up from the world around you, it will also change completely the way that you feel. You'll have more energy, you'll have more time to kind of deal with things that you want to deal with, simply because you're not continuously clearing out energies that don't belong to you or picking up on stuff that you don't want to be picking up on. So yeah, this is called the 7-day solar plexus challenge. The verbalization or the visualization for it in full is on my page, Tim Wild Practical Ascension, and I'll be doing more with the chakras. And if you'd like to comment on anything that you think is kind of like, a pathway issue for you at the moment, in the comments below this video, I'm happy to kind of roll with anything that anybody would like me to do, because I'm here to be assisting with the ascension process, and I've worked with all of these situations firsthand myself. So lots of love to you all, and go and enjoy your day, whatever you are doing, and go and really seek some love from your surroundings and be ready to receive it and to give it to others as well. See you soon. Bye bye.